Hello, TheLadyKeziah here. Money is evil. Money is evil. You've been taught, right? I think it's poverty that is evil. Poverty is not correlational to spirituality. Yeah. Hate poverty with a passion and work your way out of it. In this video, I want to address a belief that has persisted in different forms throughout history. A belief that poverty and spirituality are somehow linked. That material lack is a sign of virtue or spiritual growth. Let me be clear. Poverty is not correlational to spirituality. No. It is not a prerequisite for enlightenment, nor is it a noble condition to be glorified. Poverty is a challenge, an obstacle, and often a source of immense suffering. Poverty, in this context, is the state of one who lacks a usual or socially acceptable amount of money or material possessions. Basic needs. I'm not talking about luxury. Basic needs. Passion our children for reminding us of their basic needs because we can't afford. Not being able to afford is not the issue, but why can't we afford? The basic, not luxury, the basic needs. I don't know how this is supposed to be normal to us, but it's no more normal to some of us again. I am not talking about luxury, basic needs. Poverty is said to exist when people lack the means to satisfy their basic needs. Basic needs, not luxury. In this context, the identification of poor people first requires a definition of what constitutes basic needs. So you see, what might be basic to you won't be basic to somebody. And that is why even in the context of poverty, there are barometers for measurement. There are people, when they have somebody's 3 months salary in a row, they think they have reached their basic points. That is them. That is their lifestyle. So your basic needs might be different from somebody else's. And don't buy into that cliche that when you desire better things, it means you are no more spiritual. There is no correlation between poverty and spirituality. We should not romanticize poverty. I don't know even why this has been normal to majority of people. But it's no more normal to some of us anymore. I don't know why we should romanticize poverty. We should hate it with a passion. And more importantly, we must commit ourselves to working our way out of it. Individually and collectively. As a sister friend of mine will say, each one teach one. Once you get empowered, it becomes your responsibility to empower another person too. Break that myth. Break it. Break it. The idea that poverty and spirituality are interconnected stems from an outdated notion that material wealth corrupts the soul and that suffering purifies it. If I can't provide the basic needs of my children, and I think that makes me a spiritual person, am I not naive and ignorant. While there may be wisdom in seeking simplicity and avoiding greed, poverty is not synonymous with simplicity. No, no. It's not all of us. It's not everybody want to live that flamboyant lifestyle. No. Even the real rich people, wealthy people, they don't wear their wealth. But to be in a state of poverty whereby your basic needs and that of your children you can afford and glorify in them because that makes you spiritual. I think that is now we are moving away into another dimension. I can't name it because that is stupidity, not luxury, basic needs, especially for our children. Poverty is not and will never be synonymous with simplicity. Poverty is the lack of choice, the absence of opportunity, and the restriction of potential. Look at the sum total of these keywords and see whether you and I are supposed to live in that atmosphere because we think that is simplicity. That is not. It is lack of choice, the absence of opportunity, and the restriction of potential. Some years back, I attended a conference, and one of the speakers said to her, poverty was a choice. And come and see a typical primitive African girl getting offended. And the things that will come to mind is we all didn't start on the same leverages. You people have gotten huge opportunities that some of us didn't get. It's a minute. We all have choices in this life. Every new day is a new opportunity to all of us. Who is restricting our potentials? So poverty should not be our friend, and we shouldn't entertain it because it's the lack of choice. You and I have choice to make. It is the absence of an opportunity. There are opportunities all around us. Every new day comes with new opportunities. It is the restriction of potential. Who is restricting our potential? Spirituality, on the other hand, is about connection. Connection to oneself, to others, and to a higher purpose. So when I tell people my mission is to assist people to reconnect with themselves, they are like, everybody's already connected to themselves. And I said, no. Many years ago, that's what all of us thought. A lot of people are living, but they are not connected to themselves. Spirituality is a connection to yourself. When there are no dissonance among body, soul, and spirit, you are whole. Yeah. Connected to others and to a higher. It flourishes when people have the freedom to explore, reflect, and grow. Poverty limits this freedom. So if anybody tells you you need to be poor to be spiritual, the person is playing on your intelligence. Because poverty will limit this freedom, will disable you from connecting to yourself, to others properly, and even to a higher power. It consumes energy and focus, leaving little room for self-actualization or spiritual growth. So when you see people who are broken, and you think they are highly connected to God, I beg to differ. Why should we hate poverty? I know you might ask. Hating poverty doesn't mean hating those who experience it, because the poor will always be with us. That is scriptural, right? I've told you there are some religious bollocks, I don't take it anymore. The fact that the poor will be with us all over doesn't mean I'm supposed to be poor forever. With this knowledge, with this information, with this learning, with this growth that has taken place in me. Hating poverty doesn't mean hating those who experience it. It means hating the conditions that perpetuate it. And just the conditions I've enumerated, just even the three of them. Nobody is limiting our potential. Nobody is restricting our potential. We don't lack choices. We don't lack opportunities. They are all around us. So what are we talking about? You don't hate the people who decide to experience it. It means hating the conditions that perpetuate poverty. It means refusing to accept a world where basic needs go unmet. Basic needs, not a luxury. Where talent is wasted. Listen to the words. A world where basic needs go unmet, where talents are wasted, and where potentials are stifled by financial struggles. Poverty is not just an economic issue, it is a theft of dreams. Because of poverty, many people just exist, survive, and die with all their potentials in them. Is that the world we want? No. Poverty robs individuals of dignity, children of opportunities, and communities of progress. Hating poverty is a moral stance. It is about recognizing the injustice of its existence and refusing to allow it to persist. Work your way out, honey, because I am working my way out too. Now, let's talk about action. Let's talk about action. Why year in, year out, we fast and pray, do everything, think we desire a better life, and yet nothing better comes our way because we don't work things out. While systemic changes are essential for addressing poverty on a larger scale, we each, you and I, have roles to play in transforming our own circumstances. Therefore, I am here with some 3 guiding principles for working our way out of poverty. Number 1, adapt a growth mindset. It doesn't matter how you pray and fast. If you don't take action, nothing will change for you. Poverty often instills a mindset of limitation. Just like I said, you think it's somebody else's responsibility to make things happen for you. No. If you're on the quest to working out of poverty, you are not entitled. You know your life is yours and you. So you make things happen. It is poverty that instills a mindset of limitation. But breaking free begins with believing in your capacity to grow, learn, and achieve. Invest in knowledge and skills that empower you. Education, both formal and self-directed, is one of the most powerful tools for upward mobility. And when many of you hear education, all that comes to mind is the degrees we have. There are people with higher education, with degrees, and yet broke and broken, putting up the public facade of a successful life, and yet living from one paycheck to another. When salary delays, For even days, there is confusion at home. That is no more our portion. We are working out big time. So education, both formal and self-directed, meaning you are personally developing, learning about it. You can never learn about money from any classroom. You would have to teach yourself. Teach yourself money. Number 2, build financial discipline. Number 2, build financial discipline. Managing money effectively, no matter how little, is a cornerstone of breaking the cycle of poverty. Start by setting small financial goals, saving consistently, and avoiding unnecessary. Financial literacy is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Unfortunately, our school system doesn't teach us this. We would have to learn, teach ourselves money. Number 3, create and seize opportunities. Opportunities don't always come knocking, as we've been told. Many a time, you and I would often have to build that door. If the door won't open some small windows and combine 2, 3 windows together, and you have an opening of a door. Network, take calculated risk, and pursue ventures that align with your strengths and passions. Remember, every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Let's transform our communities by working to improve our own circumstances. And then we can remember the power of collective action. Lift up as you climb. Share knowledge, mentor others, and advocate for policies that promote equality and access to resources. True transformation occurs when individuals and communities together. In conclusion, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, poverty is not a spiritual virtue. No, it is a condition that must be confronted and overcome with unwavering determination. Hate it with a passion, just like I hate it with a passion. Not out of anger, but out of a deep love for the potential within every human being. With all the potential in us, we have no business being poor, broke, and broken. Let's commit to working our way out of it. Take action, embrace growth, and refuse to settle for less than you deserve. Together, we can create a world where poverty is not romanticized, but eradicated, where everyone has the opportunity to thrive in both body and spirit. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, hit the subscribe button, and on the notification bell, select all. So anytime I upload a video, you'll be notified. Hate poverty with a passion, and decree to yourself, declare to yourself that you would come out of poverty, and make sure your children's children before your eyes, whilst you are living, will never know what poverty means. Let's get to work. Much love and blessings. Like your way again, watch another video to know where your struggles or your side hustles will be able to turn into another source of income. Much love and blessings.